Members of Congress stage a sit-in. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Valette. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, dozens of members of Congress stage a sit-in on Capitol Hill today, led by civil rights leader Representative John Lewis of Georgia. Democrats took over the House floor demanding a vote on several gun control bills.
We're calling on the leadership of the House to bring common sense gun control legislation to the House floor. Give us a vote. Let us vote. Today we come to the well of the House to dramatize the need for action. Not next month, not next year, but now, today.
And according to the Associated Press, 30 minutes after the protest began, Republicans were forced to recess and ordered C-SPAN cameras to be turned off. The sit-in has entered its sixth hour. Members are supposed to vote today, but it's not clear if and when that will happen. Well, meantime, members of Maryland's congressional delegation took part in today's sit-in. House Democratic Whip Steny Hoyer spoke on the floor this afternoon. However, he says his remarks were not broadcast because shortly after the House was brought to order, Republicans gavelled out the proceedings. Now, in his speech, Hoyer appealed to colleagues across the aisle, saying, quote, 6,354 of our fellow citizens did not get to see another day. They are silent. Let not the People's House be silent. And Congresswoman Donna Edwards also took part in the protest. She tweeted, quote, time to occupy the House to demand action. This, along with this photo here and the hashtags no bill, no break, and disarm hate.
In some communities, there has been a drop in crime, upgrades in the landscape, and even home restorations. All of this is because of the Transforming Neighborhoods Initiative program. County Executive Rashawn Baker and other officials celebrated gains made through TNI today, which was put in place to improve communities. Now, a number of changes are being made to make the program stronger as new areas are added to the list.
What TNI does is critically look at the results that we produce and say, did we do what we agreed could be done? Did we do that the very best we possibly could? And did we do it with urgency? And where we fail, we go back and we say, why did we fail? And we come up with a better way. Because at the end of this, transforming neighborhoods isn't about any particular community. At the end of this, transforming neighborhoods is about a system of governance designed to produce innovation.
And it's just good that the community is the government, I believe, because we become one with our county government. And that means a lot, because a lot of times you'll look at TV and you'll say they're doing something. But with the TNI, it means that we are doing something together.
TNI was launched in 2012, and as we mentioned, there have been several changes to the Transforming Neighborhoods Initiative, including the addition of a staff member to handle the day-to-day component of the program.
Joining us now is TNI's new manager, Linda Turner, and welcome here to the program.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Well, tell us a little bit about how this came about, this position.
My position came about, well, for the past 4 years, we've had 6 team leaders managing the TNI areas. And the county executive thought it would be a great idea to have one person permanently assigned to watching it day to day on a full-time basis. So he asked me if I would be interested in helping with the management oversight, and I accepted. Thought it was a great opportunity.
Absolutely, and from the press conference that we saw earlier today, we could tell that he was saying what a big job it is. What areas do you plan to focus on as you move forward?
Well, we're going to continue focusing on the 6 original areas. 3 of the areas will be turned over to the community to manage, and we, the government, will be their resource. And those 3 areas are East Riverdale, Bladensburg, Langley Park, and Glass Manor, Oxon Hill. And the 3 areas will remain in, which are showing signs of improvement, are Suitland Coral Hills, Kentland Palmer Park, and Hillcrest Heights, Marlow Heights. And then we're introducing 3 new areas, and they will be Silver Hill, Forestville, and Woodlawn Lanham.
Tell us a little more about your duties and responsibilities. How will that change?
Well, I'll be focused on the overall structure of the TNI process. I'll have 6 program managers working for me, and we'll be monitoring day to day using 14 indicators, which will track the progress of each of the 9 areas. And using CountyStat as a resource, they'll be providing us with dashboards to show our progress.
And what kind of changes have you actually seen? Because again, referring back to that press conference, we heard, a drop in crime and all of that, but specifically, can you kind of elaborate on what you've seen so far?
Well, over the past 4 years, we have a multiple number of accomplishments that have been made. A drop in crime, increase in building permits, which is showing an increase in residential and commercial activity within these areas, and just a number of indicators that are showing progress in other areas that we need to continue to work on.
And what kinds of things are you hoping to achieve in the future here?
My goal is to achieve the county executive's vision and sustain the program even beyond his administration.
Sounds good. Sounds good. It looks like you are on the way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda, for
Thank you.
coming in and chatting with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And to learn more about the program, visit PrinceGeorge'sCountyMD.gov and search for Transforming Neighborhoods Initiative.
Well, Surge 2 is in full swing. As you may know, the second phase of Metro's repairs started on Saturday. While some commuters have opted to avoid the travel hassle by using a different Metro station or alternative work schedule, many have had to stick it out. That means shuttle buses, long lines, and other inconveniences until this phase is done on July 3rd. Still, Prince George's County Executive Ashern Baker says overall the process is running fairly smoothly.
Well, the first couple of days have gone better than we expected. It doesn't mean, this is still a complete shutdown on these lines, and we want to make sure we're going to keep up what our commitment is, not only having the buses take people from New Carrollton to Greenbelt, but also taking them from Largo to Suitland. We noticed the ridership going from Largo to Suitland went as high as we thought it would be, but we're going to continue that, and we're going to continue to have our people out there asking people to keep in mind, we're continuing to ask businesses, if you can have them telecommute, we'd like for you to do that. We want you to carpool, and we want you to take the bus to these areas.
And again, the shutdown affects the orange, blue, and silver lines. The repairs will take up to a year to complete. A new crowdsourcing contest called Metro Grader launches today. Riders are invited to submit ideas for small ways the agency can improve their experience on the rails, buses, and Metro access. The public can also comment on the entries. Greater Washington and the Coalition for Smarter Growth created the contest, which is also sponsored by WMATA. Now, eligible ideas are those that can be implemented by Metro in no more than 3 to 6 months, cost no more than $100,000 to complete, and have minimal future costs. See contest details and submit entries at metrograder.org through July 15th.
And here's another Metro story for you. WMATA has a new chief operating officer. Joseph Leader will be responsible for rail, bus, and paratransit services. He will also oversee Metro Transit Police and parking and support services. Leader brings 30 years of experience in the transportation operation industry and was recently an executive with the New York City Transit Agency. He will take office on August 1st. You are watching CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Vallone.